Farmer Jerry Dickinson worked by the lights of his tractor to secure a load of donated hay bales headed for a day-long trip to the other side of Virginia. At daybreak the next morning, he set off for the community of Max Meadows near Wytheville, some 300 miles away. But first it was time to fill up the gas tank.
This hay came from James Hunley that I worked for 20-some years. And he said that he was baling the hay to help all those people that lost them in the flood. And I told him if he could bale it, I'd get it out there for him.
The delivery took Dickinson out of Virginia's northern neck region, through the outskirts of Richmond, and on across the Piedmont to the mountains of southwest Virginia. 7 hours later, Dickinson's load of 32 bales of hay arrived at one of several drop-off locations set up by Virginia Cooperative Extension, where it was unloaded and stacked.
For right now, we're just storing today. It's more of a collection day. We have multiple sites. Here for Wythe County, we have a couple sites in Galax and Independence, and then Glade Springs. So we're going to be just kind of trying to get as much in today as possible. And then as we go along in the future, individual producers that want to donate, we're going to try and connect them with farmer to farmer or some of these other collection sites.
Hay donations have been happening since shortly after the remnants of Hurricane Helene tore through the southeast United States. Parts of western North Carolina, Tennessee, and southwest Virginia were flooded in areas not used to storm damage of that magnitude. Flooding from the storm killed more than 200 people, including 2 Virginians. Virginia Cooperative Extension has estimated more than $159.3 million in agricultural damages from the storm, with much of that happening in Grayson County, along the North Carolina border. So far, 1,200 round bales and 1,750 square bales of hay have been donated. Officials here say they hope to deliver 6,000 pounds of hay to help the recovery. A delivery site is also in place at an empty furniture warehouse in Galax, in Grayson County. Approximately $40,000 worth of supplies, including feed and fence, have been donated. Amy Byington with Cooperative Extension has helped lead the hay donation drive.
When you lost every bit of hay that you've got, and you've got stock you've got to feed, and this is your livelihood. So that's where we kind of came with the idea that we've got to get hay. We got to get hay in. And I know Virginia's had a drought, and some of the people that are donating this hay, like, it was a tough year for them, and we really appreciate that they're doing that. You know, I want to make sure they're taking care of them first before they send to us, but you know, our goal is we're doing it on needs. It's not focused on what people have lost necessarily as far as replacing what they've lost. We're trying to replace and get in what they need.
The empty warehouse is also being used to store other donations, such as food for animals or extra planting materials. Hay is the focus, but other donated items are also welcome.
And all of that's going towards hopefully helping either with transport, because Farm Bureau's are already helping with transport of this hay, getting it out here, but also as we move forward and we can see what the needs are and that sort of thing. But hay has been identified as a pretty strong critical need.
Further south of Galax and past Independence, Virginia, River Ridge Farm suffered some of the worst damage from Helene. This is what it looked like before the storm. This was the flood from Helene, which rose to 22 feet. Now, owner Brantley Ivy is still trying to clean out from what Helene left behind.
We've got to get back in operation just as quickly as we can. We have
no
no way to gather cattle, have no way to doctor anything if it's sick, no way to ship stuff out. So we are crippled as an operation. We have no operational ability. That's how we get it built back, and we can't build it back till we get it cleaned up.
Helene's damage was much worse in nearby North Carolina, but the New River runs north, and some of the debris entered Virginia. Brantley's wife, Whitney, is still taking in the scope of the flood damage.
There's stuff scattered throughout. You can see from the road, some of these trees look like limbs, but then you get down here and they're full-blown trees. Like, you can't. We've had people saying, "Can we come help?" And until we got this equipment, there was just not a lot that you could do with your hands. And now there is. We've got a whole crew coming today at 1 o'clock.
The Ivy's business partner, Charlotte Haynes, had an organic berry patch wiped out by Helene. Since it takes 5 years to certify land for organic food production, she's probably going to make this a cattle pasture instead of replanting.
We were just lucky that we only lost 3 cows, bull and 2 cows. I know people west of us that had 50 head and they lost 19.
This is where some of the long-distance hay donations have ended up. Farmers here appreciate not having to replace their lost hay with resources that could be spent on recovery equipment and personnel. Virginia Cooperative Extension, the Virginia Cattlemen's Association, and the Virginia Farm Bureau are working to get donations to those in agriculture who have been affected by Hurricane Helene.
A number of these items are immediate need, but we are looking at certainly between now and the end of the year to accept the donations. We're going to be evaluating where we are from that point forward. But disasters like Helene will take months, if not years, to completely recover from.
If you want to donate hay, Virginia Cooperative Extension has a website with all the information needed. Go to the web address on screen. Virginia Foundation for Agriculture, Innovation, and Rural Sustainability also has a web page for anyone interested in donating financial resources. In Grayson County, Virginia, I'm Burke Muller reporting.